I've got about 25 minutes to kill, so let's go live. Hope we got sound. When I get, people don't watch me, so I may not have anyone in the chat, and I'm using the car microphone, so we'll see. I guess when I play it back, I'll know. What's the date? Monday the 15th of Feb. Wow, halfway through February already. Man, 10 days and I'll be an old man. There we go, we've got a thumbs up. No one in the chat but a thumbs up. How good's that? 2 people in the chat. How are we doing? It's been good. Like I've got a pretty regular kind of week now. As I've said, I have Sunday, Mondays off and been smashing the walking. 11Ks yesterday, 8Ks this morning. Big ups, I got 5 in the chat. There'd be people that kill for 5. But no, just come on, and it's a good time of year. I like February. Don't really like as much because I'm going to get a year older, but we're getting out of, summer's great, but we're going back into football season. We've had the trials, the mighty Manly Seagulls. They beat the Wars, the New Zealand Warriors. It's a great time of year. I don't know if I can see my... So no, it's good. February, you got to love it. Getting ready. I've booked the trip, but that's a secret when that happens. I've actually booked 3. I've booked a trip to Thailand, a trip to Sydney, and a trip to Vietnam. Well, what a year it's going to be. And I'm in the middle of tidying the channel up. So it's not, nice and tidy. Getting rid of all the shenanigans that I was involved in. What's that button? No, we don't want a sticker. So yeah, we've tidied up. Things are good. I'm gonna have not a serious channel, but I'm gonna have a clean channel. You want to do that? No, it's good. I'll be gonna be pumping some content. Just not these streams and the shorts. You see, yesterday I was out and about, horrible conditions. It was 20 degrees, windy, rainy, but getting it done. I think I did, what was it? It was about 19,000 Ks, I wish. 19,000 steps yesterday. Pumped it out, walked pretty much the whole eastern coastline of Redcliffe yesterday, which was good. Pumping it out. Can I just ask one of those 5 people, can you just drop me a hello? I'm doing this on the YouTubes. So, but nah, things are good. Like I said, the channel's getting tidied up. I've upgraded all my hardware, my cameras, my gimbals, the microphones. Get serious again. Put out some content, have some fun doing it. The one thing is, if you do leave a comment on one of my videos, I do hold everything. Everything gets held for review. Reason for that being, I just don't want to have the negativity go straight in the bin. Unfortunately, that's the environment we live in. There are those people that, they're either obese in Kings Lynn or, sack chefs in Brixton, owls in Iowa, those sort of people. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about them, but you know who I'm talking about. But you will see a return to some content. If you look on my channel, there's only really vlogs there. My last couple of lives. G'day. Oh, look out. Look out. See you, bro. Thanks, Bart. Club Pillars Pink Knickers. Thanks for showing on my chat work. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Appreciate the watch hours, because they all add up. But that's all we live with. You just you roll with it. You have a read, you have a laugh, you hit the hide button. Thank you. Come again. But no, it's really, I gotta say, I'm in a very good headspace considering I'm about to be officially old. I wish it was like a car, like the dodgy car dealers, they can wind back the mileage. Wish I could go back about 5-6 years on the birthdays, but you can't. So you go with it, you keep it up. What do you do? It is, what do they say? It is what it is. But after, it's pretty interesting here in Brisbane. After a really hot, more traditional Brisbane summer, probably the first one in a couple of years, the weather's turned to shit. It's overcast. It's windy. We've had a bit of rain. Which is not good when you're out walking in it. A bit blown away this morning. But you do it, and you have a plan B. There's a couple of big shopping centres I can always walk in, which I did. I resorted to a bit of that last week. It's what you do. It's what you do. Well, at least we got 6 in the chat. It's probably 5 more than the bloke in Sweden gets. I don't think he's around. I heard that he deleted his channel. YouTube's a better place for it. Just saying. We won't name him. Grandpa's in the chat. Yeah, I was just saying. Apparently that bloke's channel is gone. I don't think it's confirmed. I just think he ran off with his tail between the legs. But YouTube's a better place for it, Gramps. You did it. A win for Gramps. Doing God's work is dentures. But no, I will do lives. I don't know whether I'll do many panels. I think panels are good if you have maybe 2-3 people. Any more than that, it's just too hard for people to have their say. Love doing panels with Chris. Chris is good. Found the knowledge. He knows his shit about Thailand. But there won't be much drama. I've retired from drama. As you do, you got to at some point. You can only be in amongst it for so long. But remember, if you're not already, sub up to Stu, sub up to Capio, sub up to 365 NCR 17. Mr. Beach, doing God's work is Beach. All the good guys in the chat. The genre's elite. The elite of the genre. As I'd like to say. The elite and the moral compass. That's what it is. But there's been lots on. I've been watching a lot more YouTube than normal TV. There's some really good channels, and I'll give them a shout out. They're much bigger channels than me, but I like sharing the love. Rocket Travels. He's based in Wahin. He's just got back from the Philippines. He's another Pom. He's good to watch. I watch a lot of him. What else have I been watching? Mac TV. I like Mac. He's a funny fella. He's got his bar. Delusion in Soy 7. I'm a fan of that one. He's a good watch. He's a good YouTuber. I watched a very good video last night. One of the big channels, best ever food review channel, Sunny. What I don't know his surname. We'll call him Sunny Side Up. He reminds me of the eggs. He's the history of his channel and how it was brilliant. Really, really good. The way that he was a big boy, and he was in Korea and he was working. Didn't like life much, and from there, I just fucked up. He pretty much. Hang on. Yeah, from there he pretty much grew this channel all through COVID, and here's me with my little YouTube channel with fuck all people watching, do it all myself. This bloke, he has a team of 20, he has editors, he has cameramen. How good's that? It made me wonder about Mark Weens, who I like watching. How many people are there? Daniel Berry, how are you, mate? Yeah, Sunday over there, you must be in the UK. But yeah, Mark Weens makes you wonder whether he's got a bit of a team. When you got YouTubers out there, how much money would Best Ever Food Review channel be making if he's had over 3 billion views? He's got a team of, I don't know, he said 20 people in Vietnam, so it's pretty smart too, because you don't have to pay as much in Vietnam as if you did in the Western country. But yeah, that's pretty staggering. Just shows if you do it right, but he played, it would be like he said, he did a pilot. He went on a pilot for an American travel show, didn't get it, but he said for the 3 weeks, he just picked their brain. And he pretty much replicated what they did, their crew, everything like that. Smart. I'm ever going to be a a hobby for me. You know. Oh, well, let's try this. Here he is. The doctor, Dr. Beach, is in the chat. How are you, mate? Just telling everyone how I've retired from the drama. Been retired from the drama for about 4 weeks. Making my channel clean again. But massive shout out, 365, doing God's work. You know, had 365, had a couple of wins this week. Had a big win in Sweden. We were just talking about that bloke in Sweden's channel being hidden. I would too after the Panty episode. Just throwing that one out there. You know, it was pretty disgusting. Misogynistic behaviour at its worst. You know? Fancy stealing a poor working woman's underwear. You know? I think Big Cole had to pay for them. But, you know, it is. We're cleaning up the genre one channel at a time. Yep, totally agree, Dr. Beach. They are duds. And it's lie after lie. Mate, I just not going to engage with them. Couldn't be fucked. I'll do whatever I can to fight the good fight, but I find if you don't engage with them, that's what they want. And it's just too many. It's too... You know what I was like. I was a little attack dog. I used to fight them all. I'd fight everyone. I fought with you, Beachy, silly bastard. I was. And, just that. I've got a story, actually, Beachy, while you're here, I've got a story for you. I've been cleaning up my channel, right? Made a lot of stuff private and deleting a lot of shit. You should have seen when we were fighting. The videos I had with me and you. I watched a couple of them. The one where I dressed up with the Under Armour hat, the Under Armour mask, and the aviator glasses. That was pretty good. Oh, this. Dentures has been in the hot tub. Do me a favour, Dentures, just don't use that M word. I'm not going to delete it, but yeah, I just don't want them to try to flag me. Use any other word that means that, by all means. But, you know, good fun. YouTube's been good. I've been enjoying it. I've just been missing a lot of 365, or I'll have it on while I'm half asleep, just with the time difference. And I go, because I'm up so early, I'm up, most days I'm up 4 or 5 o'clock. And then I'm in bed by about 7. I'm a bit of an old man like that. Just getting the exercise side of the game. You know, because you would never want to be 36 stone and be like, you know, that bloke in Kinsling. Jeez, he's massive. I reckon, I'm gonna dabble in a little bit of drama. Just a little bit. Imagine being 36 stone. You have your own postcode, wouldn't you? You know, the bloke in Kinsling. Like, you know, for me, like, and everyone knows my story. I was a very huge human. You know, and around 20, I was at my 2004. I was around my biggest. You know, and I used to jump on a plane. I used to get a seatbelt extender. I used to get a seat next to me free. Mate, I seen that bloke in Kinsling. I reckon he'd need 2 seatbelt extensions, and he'd probably need an aisle, a whole row to himself. He's a big human. Now, he was telling people he worked on tractors and trucks. Mate, they'd have to have specially designed seats for him. And that's the bloke. You got to remember, I'm going to give you a little bit of history in my channel. My channel's had 2 really periods where it was booming, right? First one would have been around 2020. We were doing the Saturday night Australian stream. We were going up a Goliath. We were going up against Talkback Thailand and winning. You know, there was me and BT. We'd have Gaza Sweden on. We'd have Capio on. We'd have Tom, Club Fillers Inc. before he said that disgusting stuff about Chocolate Man's wife or whoever it was. Okay, so my channel was booming back those days. And then in 2022, when I was in Vietnam, I was getting massive numbers. I was IRL streaming. And this bloke in Kinsling decided out of jealousy that he was going to attack me and do that. And I was dumb. because I let it affect me, and I parked my channel when I shouldn't have, because now we see him and we see what he look like. He's got nothing else but trolling. You know, when you're that big, what do? You don't have a girlfriend, you don't have friends. You know, he goes to work. I've been there to a certain extent back in the early 2000s. When I was that big, I didn't really have much of a social life and lived a bit of a recluse life when I wasn't working. So I've been there, just not to the extent he is. I never trolled people. There wasn't real, you know, in 2004, there wasn't much social media back then anyway. But yeah, you know, I get where he comes from, but I guess I'm a bit, I think it's been one of my motivations to bring my channel back and come out of retirement from the YouTube side of the game, is the fact that I let someone like that affect me enough that I parked my channel when it was doing really well. You know, it was monetized, it was making a little bit of cash. Not that that's important. You know, I don't need it. It's just, you know, you don't say no to money. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yep, Stu's just nailed it. Big ups to Stu D in the house. One of the #1 live streamers of the elite of the genre. He trolls to hide his depression and unhappiness. Absolutely he does. Without a doubt. You know, when what he should be doing is putting less in his mouth and moving more. Because trust me, like as I sit here today talking to you guys, I'm a whopping 118 kilos lighter than I was in 2004. Okay, still a fat fella. Chubby's the like the word. Pumpooey man, but very active, working hard, good social life, circle of friends. You know, that's why I kind of backed away from this for a bit. I didn't need it. But we'll get out there. We'll get out there with the channel. We'll give it a run. I'll put some content together. When I go on holiday, the biggest thing for me, whenever I go on holidays, I start with the best intentions. I'll go, oh yeah, I'm gonna vlog. And I end up having too much fun. And I put the vlogging to the side. I'm like, I'll be getting on the piss, I'll be running amok, I'll be having adventures. That's why I like shorts. Shorts are really easy. You put a short up, takes a simple short, you can do it a couple of minutes. You want to be a bit fancy and edit a short, you might be 20 minutes. It's brilliant. There you go, he's back on dentures on his laptop. Big ups all that, double figures. The retired failed YouTuber. He's got probably 8 more people than what the man in Sweden gets. Sorry, not Switzerland. I think the guy in Switzerland, he's someone else. That's RL. He's a bit of a nonce. G'day, Barry Allen 104. I don't know who that is, but he's good. But I think he's got a spanner. G'day, Barry. Good to see you, mate. But yeah, like this is only going to be short. I'll probably about another 10 minutes. I was just driving from the city back to home. Jump on, and I did want to do some sort of stream this week. I just had, a lot going on yesterday. I was pretty much out for 3 hours. I walked 11 Ks. I'm in a nice little routine on a Sunday. I wake up early. I do my exercise. I go get a coffee, and then, do my jobs as you do. What do they call it? The adulting side of the game. But no, it's good. It's like I said, it's a good time of year. We're coming into the rugby league season's about to kick off. Papa Jib. Australian Uber drivers are very low class, not like us. Mate, as a retired Uber driver, Papa Jib, yeah, there's a lot going on, mate. There's a lot going on with Uber. There's a couple of class actions. We should have a chat offline one day, Papa Jib, about it. Papa, that's a bit rough. Papa Jib 97 is still working hard. I don't think he's that old. But no, Papa, there's a lot going on. But I enjoyed it. I did it for probably 2 years full time. and enjoyed it. But I wasn't going to tell everyone while I was doing it. Made some good money, met some good people. It funded quite a few trips. Yeah, it was good. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, it's they're a big tech company that wants all the control, and in Australia, the tide's turning. The unions are starting to get involved, which I'm not a fan of unions. I didn't join them, but there's a class action. They treat us like contractors over here, or they did. Like I pretty much when my license finished in October, I give it up because I don't need it. But they treat the drivers like contractors. But then you don't know where you're going. When you get a trip, they take 27.5%. You've then got to keep 10% of that for the government for GST. So as a sustainable model, it's not really worth it. That's why I don't do it anymore. But it was good. It helped me set up my side hustle. So I've got a little bit of a passive income on top of my occupation, which is great. I just couldn't justify working. When I wasn't traveling for 4 years, I worked 7 days except for my trips, so I just couldn't do it anymore. It's great. Really good routine. But definitely, they can clip that because you feel free. You know how I work. You got to be careful with what you're telling people on YouTube. Like, you're all still, I worked for Cash Converters for another 2 years when all you people thought I didn't. And you just got to do that. Unfortunately, in this genre, there are a lot of stalkers. Yeah, no, Papa, you're okay. Look, I'm not going to judge you. Your mates with that scumbag. You're probably his only real mate, but you've always been all right. You're a funny troll in my book, but your mate's a scumbag. Your mate in Brixton. But yeah, like I was saying, you gotta be very careful. I learned that the hard way when I first came in this YouTube caper. You got to be very careful about what info you give out because they do use it. Barry has the kindest people you'd ever meet. Oh, I don't know about that. There's some good people, but like anything with social media, there are, depressed people that find their own. Is he Little Richard live every day? Didn't even know that's you. Don't really haven't watched that, but I reckon easily a year. I just, I'd be very naive to think there aren't people in YouTube that are talking shit about me, but I don't care. If I don't know about it, it's all good. It doesn't affect me. And I used to let it. With this shit, I used to be very thin-skinned. And one thing I was thinking about this earlier. So I'm on Discord. I'm on a few different Discords. It's a good way to communicate and talk to people. Is I don't have all my alerts turned off for Discord, all my alerts are turned off for Line, and all my alerts are turned off for Facebook Messenger. So the only way I can see it is if I go into the apps, and it's a good tactic, because what used to happen is I'd be off YouTube, I'd be doing my thing, and what people do, and they mean well, like, oh, hey, such and such is talking shit about you, or such and such is having a go. And I used to do it as well. Other people are trying not to do it now, and so it'd bring you back, you out of it. You'd be out doing something, and you'd be like, oh fuck, what are they saying? So it's a really good. I'd recommend that to anyone if you want to get it, kind of keep a distance from this. Turn your alerts off, and then I choose when I go into Discord. I choose when I'm going to go into Messenger. I don't get an alert from, say, Joe Bloggs saying, oh, that one said this about you or that one. Because at times your phone would just be pinging. There you go. some wise words of wisdom from the not so big man. What is it? See, the only thing about, I always get, like, I stream at times that aren't really good for English. Knowing chef is like having cancer. Well, I wouldn't wish cancer on my worst of enemies. I wouldn't wish chef on them either. The thing about that bloke, in all honesty, is that he just wants to be relevant, and he's not. You know, he used to be able to go live and get 50 people watching. Now he can't, and what he tries to do, he try. Well, I hope you don't, Papa. I hope you're just talking shit. I hope you don't have cancer, Papa. But yeah, look, that guy, and what he does now, he preys on the not so bright and tries to manipulate him to fight his battles. You know, like the owl. Yeah, I could see that. You look like you've lived halves had it for 60 years. That's, yeah, true. But even him, I block him. I can't see him. You know, he's one of the biggest liars that the genre's ever seen. So I just don't have time for him. Plays well with me. What a lot of these people do, right? I'm not talking about individual people. I'll talk in general. Is that they'll go hard at people. Okay, they'll go hard. They'll throw stones, but if they get anything back, they play the victim. Like, how dare you give anything back? You know, and that's where it's at. And it's like, well, you know, if you're gonna throw stones, you got to be able to take a few, but they can't. And that's the nature of this beast. You know, I feel like there's a bit of a momentum shift. I think what we're seeing now, the world's been back open 4 years, we're starting to see some vloggers again. Now, I'm not talking about the patio vloggers, because look, patio is such a small part of Thailand, and it's not, you know, I don't mind patio, but it's not, let's say it like this, it's a very western part of Thailand. Westernized, you know, you got your expats there and stuff like that, whereas, you know, I like to see a little bit. Yeah, exactly, there you go, Barry Allen's nailed it. They want to trigger you so that you respond and they can twist the narrative, absolutely. But if you don't respond, they will keep going, but you just got to realise that and go with it. But yeah, look, they're starting to see, like, even within that potato kind of genre, I've been watching The Breakfast Club, and it's pretty funny, actually. You got to think about it, right? So here I am, I've dropped 13.5 kilos in seven weeks, right? So I'm not eating a lot, eating lean, really smart. But I've been watching a lot of food vlogs. How's that? So I've like been watching for other people, and that Breakfast Club, he's not bad. When me and Harv die, we're going to meet at Bells Beach Surf for 50 footers. Oh, look at that. What movie was that? Cape Fear? Yeah, I think that's what you kind of... That was the movie, wasn't it? Papa did, but they do that at the end. They just go out to the surf and never come back. So, sorry about the indicators, but, you know, don't want to get stung, don't want to get a fine. Itchy. No, it's good. See, I don't mind this. I don't mind just a few people in my chat killing some time car. Good times. Because I haven't streamed a lot. You know, and I'm streaming at a time where a lot of the pommies are in bed. You know, if I can't really... I was talking to someone... Yeah, Point Break. I knew it was one of those movies. Grandpa with the low blow there. Brokeback Mountain. It's a bit of a low blow. Like, I was talking to someone was telling me I probably should stream while I'm walking. It's just really hard. Like, my phone's normally in the pocket. There's a lot of people and they'd be thinking I'm a weird cunt. So that's the only thing. let's just say where I walk, there is a bit of eye candy, so it does keep you motivated. Nothing like I'm not the fastest walker, but I'm still a big bloke. But there's nothing like a pretty lady walking past me. Shoes going in. You walk past a pretty lady, mate, and she kind of steams past you really quick. You're like, oh fuck, I better go a little bit quicker. That you do. Oh, go get a message held for review. Fucking hell. Papa Jib's going in. Yeah. I just don't mind his video, but like it's pretty his videos are good. Breakfast Club. I know from what I've heard, he cops a bit of flack. Well, actually, I didn't mean to say that because I apparently just might have doxed him, but he does cop a bit of shit. But I think it's entertaining. Some of the places he's done like this, there is a bit of an obsession with a full English in patio. Yeah, now and again, maybe. I guess if you live there. But I do try to eat more local food when I'm there. But no, there is some really good content at the moment. There's a bloke in Bangkok I watch, Sam Tyler. He interviews people that are living, like in condos and that. Looks at their where they are, their complexes. That's pretty interesting. Doesn't sound it, but when you watch it is. There's lots of. I feel like now people are starting. There's more and more starting to pop up, which is good. That's what you want. That's what I mean. I think there's a bit of a shift from this StreamYards. I don't think YouTube was ever meant for that StreamYard side of things where people can just jump on and talk smack and have their little fights and clip other people because they can't. Look, this isn't the greatest content, right? I'm in my car. I'm just talking about whatever comes into my mind, right? But it's mine. It's my content. I'm not sitting there clipping other people, using their content, and then I see something this morning where that person is then, playing the victim to YouTube, that they're doing it for educational purposes. It's like sweetheart, get a grip. You're not that good. Your channel relies on other people, and that's, to me, that person, she's a bit of a parasite. She's a social media parasite. Doesn't have the creativity to, you look at the StreamYards I watch, right? The three big ones I watch: Capio, Stu. Oh, that's what she says, Barry. She says education. So I watch Capio, I watch Stu, and I watch 365, right? Now all those guys, you look at their streams, they always do 10, 15, 20 minutes plus talking, doing, let's call it a monologue. They're talking about what's on their mind, okay? And they put some thought into it. I do believe Beachy's probably the king of improvisation and just rattles it off the top of his head. He's really good. I know Capio will do his top 5. Stu will have his plan, what he's going to have to say. And then they go into a panel. Whereas the Iowa Al, she doesn't do that. She just imagine her hard drive, like, I thought that the fella from Scotland would have and I'm never going to forget what he did, but I'm not gonna go at him because he's not going to me, and I just think it's better to keep that. You never forgive, you never forget, but you just kind of move on. But her hard drive be full. All she does is copy people's streams and then replays them. And educational, like, get a grip, love. Why don't you do some planning? Like, I remember going into COVID, I used to do actual rundowns of what we were going to talk about. Or we do watch-alongs, with the rugby league. And, at some point I might pivot this channel to be more of a sports talk than travel. Well, we never, that's what I was doing before. But, have some creativity. don't just go for the drama and shit like that. I don't get it. Yeah, I think so, and I think that, look, I'll give that bloke and the Scottish bloke benefit of the doubt. He's not around, as far as I can see. If that's the way he's going to be, well, sweet. Like, I'm not, he did some horrible shit. I'm not going to forgive and forget. Don't ever want to be on good terms with him, but while he's like that, sweet, it's one less person you got to worry about. And if he's got bored of it and he's got an actual life, well, good luck to him. Not too much good luck because he's been a prick in the past, but at some point you just got to move on. But this woman, she's not even, a lot of people, and I hate using the size, but a lot of people, I do have to wrap up soon. I'm almost where I need to be. But they talk about Beachy. Oh, Beachy's an interloper and all this shit. He's never been to Thailand or all this bullshit, right? And look at the people there recruit. Like, they put, she's never set foot in Thailand. She doesn't know shit about Thailand. And I guess for a lot of us, that's our Papa. That's pretty funny. Doesn't have, at least, for probably 90% of Australia, they've ever been to Thailand or like Thailand, right? She doesn't know shit. I don't even know what she's doing here. Starbucks do a good job, Cambo. Nah, man, where I just been, 35 minutes of coffee would be fucking cold. Oh, yeah, big shout out to Saul Goody. He reckons I was doing Uber Eats. But yeah, I just don't get it. Like, if you're gonna have a YouTube channel, have some creativity and fucking create some content. Even if you just go live and just talk. Beachy. I don't know. I reckon even the Papa's got standards. So, but no, look, I'm going to leave it on. Look at this. I got 14 in the chat. She wished she had 14. And it's all my own content. No one else's. On that note, I'm going to go park. I'm near where I have to be. Thank you. And I will be, keep an eye on the channel. If you haven't resub. Hit the like, do all that shit. I'm going to sound like I want to be a YouTuber now. So take it easy. Thank you, good people. Now I've got to work out how to end this. Take it easy.